I always like to make my active recoveries like fun.
Have to be,
because
so it's sustainable.
Yes, you gotta like it.
Here's a little secret. Life is supposed to be fun. Everybody walking around.
I'm not supposed to force myself to suffer, to
hate
succeed
myself. Yeah.
for something that I'm just gonna die and turn to dust for. In the made-up
And then go
construct
back, you
of
have
money.
all this suffering and you're on your deathbed and you have all these regrets and all this sorrow and then you die and then next thing you know you see the light and you're coming out of the womb of another
You're
birth.
crying.
And you're like, fuck,
God,
doing
damn
this
it.
again? Thought this was over.
No.
It's just begun.
Never ends.
And it never ends.
It's
just
always
begun and
beginning.
It's never end. The snake eating its tail.
Oh, that's the Ouroboros alchemy. What?
True story. Peace and restoration. The Bridge Podcast. Back again. Sean Nixon here.
John Matthew.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. Always.
It's a beautiful
Always
day.
feeling. Have I ever said I feel bad on any episode?
No, you want to know why? Because it's your choice of how you want to feel. You ever ask somebody like how you doing, even if it's a euphemism to just keep it moving, and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
or whatever. I'm like,
Shit.
I'm like, that's your choice, right? And they're like, but this happened and this happened and this happened. Yeah, you're still choosing to do
The
that.
problem isn't the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem.
That's
Jack
true.
Sparrow.
But it's true though.
Yeah.
Things are always going to happen. You can't change things
Attachment to
happening.
them is what, that's Buddhism right there.
But if
That's
you
one other
can't,
episode.
you can't change the things, you can change the reaction to the things.
That's also
It's called winning.
Man in Search of Meaning. That's your
Literally.
Viktor Frankl,
Oh, literally. If you haven't read
Read
Man's
that
Search for
book.
Meaning, Viktor Frankl, you're fucking up. But today, we got a big one for you. It's so big, we might have to chunk it into... I was thinking of doing a part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
But what we'll do is we'll run through them, and then we'll do a full meditation, a full breathwork episode, and maybe another recovery episode.
Yeah.
When we're done with all the pillars and whatnot. Because today is the pillar of restoration. So we've already done full sleep. Now we're doing restoration. We've already done movement that is like a yang energy, working out energy, and now we're pulling in energy to the body.
Very stimulating.
All we are is spiritual energy beings trapped inside this. I say trapped inside. That sounds like 'cause we have no
Actively
choice.
going inside.
Right, inside this human body, right? This mammal ape body. But you are a being of energy. So you got to pull some of that
Energy
in.
needs to go somewhere, like yang, and energy also needs to be, like you always like to say, worked in.
Worked in. It's
Recovered.
beautiful. So
Stored.
restoration is like recovery.
Yeah, and also,
more.
The adage, like work hard is not a bad thing. It's a good thing to work hard. Also, I don't like necessarily that word because I think it denotes something else. But like putting in effort towards something is good.
Effort.
But also,
Yeah.
you got to balance it out.
Right, but there's
Working
effort.
more and more and more isn't better.
Right. But putting effort into recovery and effort into restoration.
Not just
and
attention,
planning
right?
that.
Putting attention towards it, right? So
And planning and scheduling. So we're going to run through real quick. Meditation. Not some hippie bullshit. It's not just sitting there.
saying kumbaya.
It's not kumbaya.
Oh,
It's not thinking about nothing either, because that's impossible.
It's not thinking about nothing either.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and you're like, oh, but I overthink, so I'm not going to be good at meditation, or I've tried it and it didn't work, or I can't.
This is again, like we said, we're going to break this up into a bigger episode.
But you can.
And give you some help. So there's different types of meditation too. Everyone thinks of sitting cross-legged. I have my fingers like this. People don't know why they do that.
I know.
And they're sitting there and they have to go. They make it a thing.
But once
Too
again,
much
with the
so.
energy, you got little mini hand chakras. I forget the name. I forget the Sanskrit name, but
Yeah.
you're closing an energy
Mudras.
loop
You
here.
got mudras.
You're just touching. That's the mudra. You're just touching two wires together and closing an energy circuit. Like, what do you think happens when you flip the light switch on? The wires touch and the lights come on, and then you flip it, and they.
What?
So that's the same. That's
It's
what
like
this
when you
is.
put the little positive and the little negative.
Literally.
In the back of your
Literally.
calculator. People don't
Same thing.
understand
Okay, so you're not into that, but you've seen this before.
Yeah.
Same thing. Same.
Same.
Only different.
Open circuit, closer.
Literally.
That's science.
Literally science. Well, that's the...
And also, it's not like even more literal because electromagnetic energy,
100%.
Electricity is happening. What do you think an electron is? Atoms in your body. If your body carries a charge.
Science. And Yogananda.
Science and Yogananda.
Cryo yoga.
Yoga is a science.
Literally.
Mind. Yeah.
Literally is. So we'll circle back to that. Breath work. Most people are not even aware that they're breathing through their mouth into their neck, chest, and lungs. And they're also unaware that your breath is one of the only things that you're in complete control of, and it can change everything in your body. You can slow your brain waves, you can change your brain waves, you can change your heart rate, your blood pressure, you can change everything from just breathing. Your pH level, your mood.
Yeah, you've talked about feedback loops before, like on this. The breath is one of your body's major ways to get a signal of what's happening, what should my brain be doing.
Huge.
A short, choppy breath versus a big, long breath versus a calm, slow breath, all stimulate different responses in the brain.
Can't change your brain directly, but you can control your breath, which controls your heart rate, which controls your brain, because your brain and heart work together. Boom. More science for you.
Everything is connected.
Everything is connected. You're like, oh, I tuned in to see chicken and broccoli and lifting weights. I want fitness. And these hippies are talking about breathing through their nose. This is a big deal, and this is scientifically backed. Next, active recovery. So that's not just sitting on the couch and, oh my God, I'm so sore. It's moving around a little bit lightly to move some lymph and some blood and not be so sore all the time and facilitate recovery through light movement.
Yeah, it's almost, what it is, movement for the sake of movement, to keep your body, an object in motion stays in motion.
I love that. Right? Instead of like, whoa, we're not going to get into that. We're going to get into some laws of motherfucking Newton's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I love that. Movement for the sake of movement versus like 3 sets of 10 at 85%, like whatever.
Yeah, this is the part where you get to just enjoy. If you have a specific goal, like I'm a body comp guy, performance guy, a lot of that stuff can be, it's because it's so goal oriented, it can be very taxing mentally and emotionally too. This is just,
I'm just moving. Just feeling good and moving. Love it. And then passive recovery is when you're laying there getting a procedure performed on you. So that's your massages, your hot tubs, your ice bath, that type of stuff. They're both. I think you need maybe an equal ratio of those two things, but they're different and they both help recovery. So let's get right into meditation. Like I said, it's not thinking about nothing. It's not sitting there doing nothing. It's not laying in your bed until you fall asleep and take a nap, because naps are great, but it's not the same brainwaves and it's not the same thing as meditation. Everyone can benefit from meditation, especially what we said. If your goal is only looks, it helps. If it's only health, it helps. If it's only performance, it helps. Big time. Yeah. Not only recovery, but just mindset, let alone manifestation and visualization, whether your goal is health, whether your goal is performance, whether your goal is looking a certain way. All the most successful people do it. The way it was described to me first, way back when I first started, many years ago, my early 23, something like that. Well, whenever I first started getting into fitness, it was described to me. Shout out Andrew McCumber, okay?
Andrew McCumber.
Yes, great guy.
Name out there.
And I want to find him again. We were friends when we were very little, and then there was Psychedelic Adventures in the middle somewhere.
That's pretty cool.
And he was years. He's a wizard.
He's a wizard.
And I knew he was a wizard before I knew what wizards were. Like, I could feel it.
You could feel the wizardry?
Yeah, because I was a bum, but I could feel that he was a wizard. And then when I became, I was going to say more enlightened, when I became more aware and a better human being, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker was a real wizard when we were real young. I think coming from his mom, I think his mom was a half a wizard, half a hippie lady.
Yeah, interesting.
But anyway, he basically taught me, and he was like, just observe your breath and breathe through your nose and kind of watch your breath, right? And anytime your mind wanders to another thought, which will happen because thoughts come and go just like clouds come and go, you don't obsess over that thought. You hear a car go by, you're not like, oh my God, what kind of car is that? Oh my God, like overthinking it, but you're also not like, don't think about cars, don't think about cars. You're not pushing it away either.
Yeah.
You go, that was a car, I'm aware of it, I'm going back to my breath. And you just breathe through your nose. That's like a beginner level. That's not like the only way or the best way or whatever, but that was how it was originally taught to me.
People overcomplicate meditation sometimes.
Of course.
It's really just a practice of like...
stillness.
And letting go, because the mind's natural. I mean, in yoga,
Saved my life.
The second
the letting go.
Yeah, the second sutra of yoga. The first one's like, now the exposition of yoga will begin. That's part of it, and part of that is being present, the now. The second part is, yoga is the cessation of the mind stuff. Like all the thing that's going on in the mind. The mind is its own active entity.
I think that's the best way to be present.
Yeah, and it's all, we become attached to your thoughts, and so now I'm identified by
your thoughts.
Yeah. So it's the difference if you're having trouble kind of visualizing or just kind of feeling what that means. So I'm having a thought story where like I am telling off somebody who did something wrong to me, and I'm acting in the role of the story. That's one way to perceive my reality. The other way is to watch that thought like a movie happening.
Be the observer of that movie.
Exactly. So it's that detachment from your thought, from your feeling. So you said the cloud's going by. I could run, try to chase half the cloud and grab the cloud.
Not going to help.
Not going to get anywhere, right?
Or you try to push the cloud away. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, pushing it or pulling it
doesn't help.
Resistance in both ways, right?
It's resistance.
It's practice letting go. Letting go of all.
Dude, letting go saved my life, literally.
Yeah, that's a big major tenet.
So when you're like, wait, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my emotions, because they're all bad at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got bad thoughts, I got negative thoughts, negative emotions. So I'm negative. Nope. I'm something else observing that, and I can choose to let that go and change that. So it's like, okay, I can't change what happened in the past, but I can let it go and reframe it and not carry it around like a fucking ball and chain the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, and like in Buddhism, Buddha says detachment is the major cause of suffering, right? Because you're to be attached to our bodies. That's all transient. Anything you can that's going to go and come and gone isn't the real thing. That's the Tao. The Tao that can be named is not the real Tao.
It's not.
The Tao that can be touched and seen is not the real Tao. So it's the same thing. That's what meditation is teaching you: is that your thoughts. For me, I'm a mind racer. I'm a fucking road runner, 100%. A lot of people are. I think fast. I even talk fast, and that's just representation of what's going on in my mind a lot of the times. But if I'm sitting there, I'm just going to let that play through. And the recommendation to start is like 10 minutes a day. But really, it's not until you start getting into the 20, 30.
I think 20 is a good recommendation, but there's nothing wrong with starting with 5 or 10 if you're brand new.
100%, because
but I think 20 is a good starting
If you've
point.
only ever done 10 minutes a day and you're saying like, nothing's really changed.
Oh, move it up to 20.
Block out some time. Manage your time so you get some space to create 20 minutes of time.
Another tip, if you're trying to do 20, block off 30 so you're not constantly thinking about the alarm going off or the clock or what I got to do next. Because the worst is you get there and you're like, okay, I'm calm for a second, and then the to-do list just starts running. So now you're not in the present, you're in the future.
Yeah.
That's not good. I like how Ram Dass said, he's like, you think everything is gray because you see nothing but gray. But then everything starts moving and there's a little blue and you realize that gray is not you. That gray was just a cloud. And clouds come and go. And then next thing you know, you're like, I'm not the gray, I'm actually the blue. And then the wind blows and the cloud's gone and it's all blue. And you're like, oh, I'm awesome. That was just a cloud going on.
Yeah. But how many times am I that cloud?
You think?
The fucking rain cloud, storm cloud of just shittiness, right? Like that's...
You think. You remember Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore? He had the cloud following him and shit? And he was just sad all the time.
He's sad all the time. It's a very fascinating children's...
That's a
universe. That's a deep one.
Deep one. So let's give 4 quick meditation techniques. You got laying down, you got sitting up, so either in a posture, it doesn't have to be cross-legged, but some type of meditation posture, or even at the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
But either way, the point is to get into, I don't want to say extension, but like a neutral spine.
Yeah, neutral is the best way because you don't want to be like hyper-forcing it, right? But you also don't want to be slouching.
At all.
Right?
Because the spine is...
And it really starts with the pelvis. So like the way you're sitting, like you're sitting wide-legged so your pelvis can tilt forward a little bit so you can be in more of an extension, but more neutral, really.
Yes, that's why I was saying, going from
the reason
flexion.
You said, I'm guessing you're saying more extension is because most people are in flexion.
Flexion all day.
Yeah.
You're just hunched over all day. So I'm saying sit up as tall as you can.
And the reason being for that is, I mean, what are you extending? You're extending your entire spinal cord, your entire antenna to your brain.
Yogananda would say God is in your spine. And then the science behind that is that's where your nervous system interacts with the entire world. It starts from there.
That's
so we don't have to get into Kundalini energy and all this.
That's a whole other episode.
And all the chakras and everything else. We'll get to that on another time. But sit in some type of neutral spine where you're comfortable. So let's not overthink the position. Like I said, could be laying down, but not in bed. Go to the floor so you don't take a nap because a nap is a different thing altogether. Not a bad thing, just a different thing. Could be sitting, like I said, sitting up. Or could even be walking. So not all walking is a walking meditation. But when you get enough practice, you can turn that into that. Do you have any other quick meditative styles? Because some people get into a flow state painting or doing something and they turn it into a meditation, but that's not what we're talking about, really.
No, because there's a focus on something external usually in that, which is not, again, like not a bad thing.
We're talking
different.
Different. Not bad at all. We're talking about an internal focus going into your mind.
This is, I think I sent you that the other day of that, I forget what movie it's from, but the zombies come to attack the lady who's doing the, before the movie scene with the light, and she just like smacks them. And goes back,
It's the best. Yeah. I'm gonna post that today.
So I mean, it's again the whole point. Again, don't overthink it. If you're just new to it, just get into a comfortable space that you can stay alert in. So again, like in bed's a bad idea because if you're gonna doze off, most likely it's too comfortable. Your body's gonna signal a sleep response, right?
And if you take a nap, you may or may not wake up feeling better. If you meditate, you're always gonna feel better.
Whoa.
Nobody ever regretted a workout or a meditation. Naps you've regretted, meals you've regretted, sex you've regretted, all these things you've regretted. Meditation and a workout, you may not want to do it. You'll procrastinate. You'll have anxiety leading up to it. Nobody ever was like, damn, I regret that workout.
And the last, I guess not the last, but the really important thing too about meditation, again, we're going to do a whole bigger episode on meditation, is you're not going to, if you're trying to learn to play the piano, and you're going to go sit down at a piano.
Oh, please, make it a daily practice.
For 10 minutes, and you're like, I guess I can't play the piano. I'm just not going to stop playing the piano.
Every
you do
day.
that for 2 weeks, and you say, I can't play the piano. It takes time. It's a practice.
For those of you that are already working out, if you were to run 2 days a week or lift 1 day a week, where would you go? Nowhere.
Meditation is really,
it's
the great thing about it is that you can do it throughout your entire day. You definitely, I'd recommend setting time aside to do like 10 minutes sitting down, laying down. But just taking a pause during the day.
I love that. So I got 4 techniques and we'll do 4 times a day. We'll go, when you first wake up is a great time because before you even touch your phone, email, who you are, whatever, go right into
Plug
meditation.
back into the world. Yeah.
Second is whenever you have time, which is what you're saying, schedule out a time just like a workout, you're scheduling your meditation time. Third is like you were saying throughout the day.
Well, micro
Put
meditations.
micros, a 2-minute. Don't even clock it. Just sit up or sit on the ground and breathe through your nose for 2 minutes and then go back to work, whatever. And then number 4 would be like before bed and a winding down routine.
Yeah.
Then the 4 styles we'll give is just breathing through the nose, sitting there, headphones with binaural beats to enhance the theta brain waves, headphones with a guided meditation, which can be any type of topic and to keep you on track and to keep you thinking about that instead of 50 million things, pinball machines and monkeys jumping on the bed, or like chanting or ohms or mantras. So then instead of thinking of random shit, you think of one mantra that you say over and over again in your head. I am happy, I am healthy, I am whole. I used to take a breath in, let go. Good shit comes in, the bad shit comes out. If you breathe through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and say let go in your head 20 times, I bet you $1 million you will feel like $1 million.
You got money to put up for that?
Well,
I'm going to win no matter what.
I can guarantee, right? It's a guarantee.
House always wins.
So, seriously, the house is going to win on that one. The meditation always wins and the house always wins. So that's my 4 quick ones on there. And if that didn't make any sense, it's okay because we're going to do a full episode of meditation. Breath work, crazier than you think. Like I said, if you've ever heard of Wim Hof, you're going to believe all this shit. If you haven't, next time we're going to come with cited scientific studies. You can change everything. Mood, blood pressure, heart rate, anything
brain
you got going
chemistry.
on. Brain chemistry. Everything can be changed with your breath. So there's a million different techniques. Techniques for spiritual, techniques for sports performance. Dude, some of my best PRs, I do a Wim Hof.
All my best PRs have been from breath.
Why? Because
all my best performance, like deadlift, heavy deadlifts,
breathing through the nose,
fighting, jiu-jitsu, it's all like
controlling your breath.
Yeah, I'll do actually now before I do any kind of like heavy, even triples, like doubles, triple, singles, like especially on like a deadlift where it's like from a dead stop to go down. I'll do like 7 breaths, just lighten up each chakra point, boom, boom, boom. By the 7th one,
ready to go.
It feels like I got some smell.
The Super Saiyan, energy charge,
and it always is a massive difference.
Massive. Every time though, it's not like maybe some hippies figured some shit out. It's for sure.
For sure.
So like I said, you could be getting high, could be getting spiritual, could be sports performance, could be health, could be anything. A million different ways to do it. Let's just run through 4 quick ones, maybe, unless you got like details on breath work. Basically what we're talking about with breath work is consciously throughout the day, or once again, setting aside a period of time, and you can fucking double up your meditation and your breath work to multitask. I used to do that a lot before I got into the Dispenza guided meditations. I used to always do that. Is just being aware of, conscious of, and controlling your breath.
Yeah, it's the first place I'd start.
First place you start. So there's different techniques. So we'll go level 1 is literally just become aware of your breathing and always, always, always breathe through your nose. Your mouth is for talking and eating and doing things on other people if you choose to do so with a consenting adult. But your mouth is for eating and talking. Your nose is for breathing. There's a big difference between where that tube goes and where these tubes go. Yeah. First of all, it's just anatomical. And it's going to change once again, like you said, your brain and body chemistry. So just the awareness of breathing through your nose. Now, if you're sprinting and huffing and puffing for recovery, your body's going to gasp any way that it can. But
you'll end up breathing through both your nose and mouth simultaneously.
Exactly. You're breathing through both at that point to get the most oxygen as possible. But throughout the day, you may not notice that you're taking shallow chest lung breaths through your mouth, and that is decreasing your performance, even if it's on the computer doing your spreadsheets.
If you got upper back pain, neck pain, chest pain, what's happening when you're doing that chest breath is that
shortening these muscles.
Yeah,
they're getting tight.
My intercostals are getting
tight because you're on the fucking computer. That's just
now it feels like I got a corset on my whole lower body, just squeezing in.
Not fun.
It's not a great feeling.
So level 1 of breath work is to become aware of your breath and consciously breathe through your nose 100% of the time throughout the day. Level 2, we can go with box breathing. 4 to 6 seconds. So let's call it 5 seconds for the example.
Yeah.
You could start at 4 and then a couple weeks go by and go to 5 and a couple weeks go by and go to 6 and progress it like anything else. But let's call it 5 seconds, breathing in through the nose. Count to 5. That was only like a 2.
Yeah.
But anyway, because I'm trying to talk and do it, which is fucking impossible. But anyway, 5 seconds in, hold for 5 seconds. 5 seconds forcefully exhaling through the mouth, through pursed lips like you're blowing up a balloon.
All the air.
All the air out. Hold empty for 5. And then repeat for X amount of cycles, at least 4.
So in yoga, the whole part's called kumbhaka breaths, or breath retention. So there's obviously a lot of focus on the inhale and the exhale, but the retention at the top of the inhale and the tension at the bottom of the exhale have really positive benefits. We'll
feels so good.
We'll get into the details, like
right. We'll do an episode, yeah.
Full breath, but
so in for 5, hold for 5, out for 5, hold for 5.
Super easy, like just
super fucking easy.
It's like tangible. It's like right there. You can feel it.
You feel 10 bajillion times better.
Yeah. Try it out.
Then we'll go to the next advanced level. You ever go alternate nostril?
Yeah,
plug one.
Nadi Shodhana. That's what that's called.
There you go. Name. So breathing in through one, out through the other, in through that one,
and then out back the other.
And then out back the other.
That would be one round.
One round.
In yoga, that's whether this is actually happening or not, but we've already talked about how breath can change brain chemistry. So what this is from is balancing the two hemispheres of the brain. Is the spiritual aspect of that Nadi Shodhana breathing. But
if you believe it's happening, it's happening.
What?
If you don't believe it's happening, it's not happening. So it's happening.
He's happening.
Okay. Then we'll go a level up. The 4, 7, 8. So inhale through the nose for 4, hold for 7, hard as you possibly can, exhale for 8. And 4 rounds of that, 1, 2, 3, 4 times a day, you will change your life.
Yeah.
Then there's much more advanced ones, but those are going to be the 4 easy ones we'll give you. I mean, I've done crazy Kundalini breathing where you're hyperventilating.
Breath of fire.
Breath of fire, dude. I got 50 million different ones. Like a Wim Hof is usually like a 30. So Wim Hof is cool. It's a little more advanced. We'll talk about it real quick. The average one, you're breathing in through the nose as much as you possibly can, but only a little exhale.
He's like, that's like a hyperventilation, right?
Yes. So you're
hyperoxygenating.
Hyperoxygenating.
Yes.
Thank you. You're usually when you inhale oxygen and exhale CO2, the ratio kind of balances itself.
So it's pretty good you bring that up because people forget that that's what the point of breathing is
life.
What respiration is cellular respiration is toxins moving out, not toxins, but like waste products moving out, oxygen going in.
100%.
So like when you're breathing, you're not breathing correctly, you're not getting enough oxygen. How do you think having more waste products in your body, in your bloodstream, is affecting your brain and your mood and your performance?
So let's sit on the couch, order delivery food, wear gloves, drink hand sanitizer, and put a mask on our face and breathe through our mouth. That'd be a great idea to increase your health. Yeah, because the only way to expel toxins through the lymphatic system is respiration, perspiration, urination, defecation. So you got to move some shit around.
Poop, pee, move, and then breathe.
And breathe. Some sweating every now and again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So the Wim Hof, yes.
Hyperoxygen.
Yeah, you're taking in more oxygen than you're letting
exhaling.
out, and that changes
That
blood
lights you
cell
up
count.
like a
That lights
fucking
you
Christmas
up like
tree,
a
baby.
motherfucker. Next thing you know, it's Die Hard. In
That's when I do. That's when I will do for max lifts.
performance, big time.
And you don't think, because you think oxygen, you think aerobic system, you think cardiovascular endurance. That will supercharge any max lift 1,000%.
I think when Captain America grabbed Thor's hammer and he realized he was worthy, and the fucking electricity went to it, because that's what it feels like.
That's what it feels
You
like.
take the little one. So those are some quick breath works. Once again, you can talk about that for an hour. So we're gonna have a more detailed episode. Active recovery. I like what you were saying before, where whatever your like main goal or main modality of exercise is, the active recovery should kind of be the other side of the coin of that. Point being is like when I'm on a streak of doing no cardio and only lifting weights, which is most of the time, but still getting my walks in and stuff. But I mean no HIIT cardio and no long distance cardio. My active recovery is swimming. So not even like professionally swimming, because that can be a not recovery exercise.
That could be your main focus.
That could be your main mover.
Your sport or whatever it is. Yeah.
Or your sport, right? I'm just saying a couple of laps and then a couple of using the water as resistance, because it's just easy on the joints and you can go every which direction.
Yeah, that's a cool one, because when you have a cable or a dumbbell, resistance is one direction. Resistance in all directions in the pool, that stimulates your body in a very, very different way.
Big time.
Also, the pressure has a really good positive
Huge,
effect in terms of restoration.
So yeah, a couple of laps in the pool, moving around underwater, that's my thing. So same thing, if you're running all the time and you're a runner and you're like, my feet are banged up, my knees are banged up, but I want to do something, go for a bike ride. Now it's easier on your knees and your feet, lower impact, but you're still getting your cardio.
Active recovery, primary focus should be, again, on it being something that is a recovery for you. So
once again, yeah,
it's easy to get carried away, like making your active recovery your main thing again, because that may be your mindset, maybe you're
more is more, so I have to do more.
More is more.
So I'll smoke myself.
Listen to Sherman Ultra. Less is more.
Dude, less is more.
Those bears know
the
what
little
they're
bears,
talking
right?
about. Yeah. But active, like one really good one that's like it can. I always like to make my active recoveries like fun.
Have to be, because so it's sustainable.
Yes, you gotta like it.
Here's a little secret: life is supposed to be fun. Everybody walking around.
I'm not supposed to force myself to suffer, to succeed
myself.
for something that I'm just going to die and turn to dust for. In a made-up
and then go
construct
back, you
of
have
money.
all this suffering and you're on your deathbed and you have all these regrets and all this sorrow, and then you die, and then next thing you know, you see the light and you're coming out of the womb of another birth.
Crying.
And you're like, fuck,
God,
doing this again? Thought this was over.
No.
It's just begun.
Never ends.
And it never ends.
It's always beginning.
It's never end. The snake eating its tail.
Oh, that's the Ouroboros alchemy. What?
True story.
That's true story. Active, like, that's a good example of one. Like, I haven't done this enough here, but when I was in California as active recovery, like, because it's more available then. Hiking one, but rock climbing too. That shit's fun. Like,
rock climbing.
that's
You
super
can
fun.
do it professionally and smoke yourself, or you could do it for funsies.
You could be the fucking Ultimate Ninja Warrior,
Right.
fucking tapping the buzzer, or just climb with some buddies, belay, hop down.
Hiking. Dude,
That's
if you're a runner and you're running 20 miles, go for a 10-mile hike and see how that fucking smokes your tits.
Yeah.
That'll fuck.
With a fucking pack on the back.
Oh! Now we're getting fancy.
Bears.
But, so many beats, bears.
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. So yeah, hiking, walk. We're walking anyway as a prerequisite to be a human, but a long enough walk is a nice active recovery. Hiking, swimming, biking, Tai Chi, Qigong, working in energy. These are like moving yoga, martial art type of things.
Yeah,
that
not
you're doing
like
against
your
yourself.
Thai. I'm smacking the pad. That
No.
would be like hardcore heavy. That's
Nope.
part of your
Just
resistance
moving energy
training.
around, just being an airbender.
Yeah, well, yeah. But again, just getting the body flowing, feeling good.
Moving, feeling good.
Doing it for the sake of doing it, not trying to
100%.
not trying to achieve something, as we're always trying to do in our world. Especially if you're an athlete, have a performance goal, I'm trying to achieve fat loss, muscle gain, a title, or the next win. This is just doing it for the sake of doing it.
So you can go harder when you're going for those goals.
Yeah, and if you're a performer too, if you look at all the top guys, they all have forms of active recovery that they enjoy and they do, and you're like, well, I thought they just go hard all the time. And it's like, no.
Nope.
You got, like Khabib is playing basketball with his
100%.
homies.
Oh, that's a perfect example.
Like Cristiano Ronaldo is just, uses martial arts as like a fun little, like
100%.
everybody's just crisscrossed. Find something fun to do. Don't overthink
100%.
it.
Yin yogas, so like a hatha yoga, restorative yoga, a chillin yoga.
Yeah, there's your power flow yoga, that'd be more intense. And this is I'm holding the static pose for 5 minutes and I'm just letting gravity pull me down.
And breathing.
Yep, just breathing.
And being. That's beautiful. But yeah, you don't want to be lifting weights 5 times a week. The other 2 days you're running 20 miles, and then like your active recovery that you think is a fucking Bikram yoga for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
and you're sweating
106 degrees or whatever it is.
Slow down with that. So then passive recovery is stuff that other people are doing to you. So professional modalities that you're paying for that are going to super speed up recovery, soreness, and everything else, and even enhance growth and performance at some point.
There's a lot of these, right?
Massage.
There's a whole lot. You just go into massage itself. You
Massage within massage. The
hot stone,
reflexology, cupping, huge. So lymphatic massage, Swedish massage, deep tissue massage, sports massage, stretching, acupuncture, dry needling, float tank, isolation tank. There is a difference. Hot tub, cold tub.
Cupping,
cold shower,
cupping.
Chinese cupping, it's a big deal.
Stim,
dude, electric
energy
stim,
work.
TENS unit, yeah, energy work. So Reiki, sound healing, big stuff.
Epsom salts,
Epsom salt bath, dude. If you get a little hot bath, super hot,
light some candles,
way too much Epsom salt.
Some lotus petals.
Would you go eucalyptus or would you go lavender, or what would be your favorite essential oils?
For that, probably some lavender.
We'll go
I
lavender.
like eucalyptus a lot.
We'll go lavender. Epsom salt, hot bath, and then you hit it with a fucking half a cup of baking soda to pull the toxins out of your body, dude. And like you said, you light incense or a candle.
Kenny G in the back.
Shit, I was gonna say Barry White, but we'll go Kenny G with some fucking sax and
clarinet.
Shit. Dude, are you kidding me right now? And you think you're upset? You will fucking melt away in that tub.
Oh, Kenny G, take me away.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a real thing. Epsom salt, recovery, bath, heat, cold.
What are your top 5? I'll make it easier.
Oh man, I love it. So top five for passive. I love that. So cold shower. Here's how you do it before I move on to number 2. I've seen so many people crank the water to cold, step in, scream like a little girl, be like, I can't do this, I suck, fuck Sean, and fuck the internet. Yeah. Right, but there's a way to do it, okay? Dr. Jack Kruse came up with this shit in like 2008, and people have been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years before that. You take your regular shower with the hot water, opens up your pores.
You see, people have been doing it for 100 years before. They didn't have hot water.
Thousands. I'm saying like the cold part, like cold plunges and shit like that. Because like in Iceland, they got the natural hot springs because it's a volcano, but they also got freezing cold water. So jumping back and forth in between those two, beautiful. So you take your regular shower with hot water that opens up your pores, you clean yourself because you're a dirty fucking ape, right? Then at the very end, you turn it full blast cold, but you step out the way and only put it on your face. So you have what's called the mammalian dive reflex, which changes your hormones when cold water goes under your face. If you drop a chimpanzee in the water, he sinks and fucking dies. If you drop a human being, a Homo sapien in the water, a baby, they float and they try to swim and they get to their back and they breathe oxygen. Because you have what's called the mammalian dive reflex. When you have cold water on your body knows it's in fucking water and we need to change some shit if something's happening.
Different space here.
Different space here. We're operating in. So then is maybe 30 seconds on the face, then go head, neck, chest, armpits, spin around. The science is between 1 and 2 minutes will give you a myriad of benefits. Anti-anxiety, anti-depression, anti-inflammation, increased immunity. Big fucking deal. I do this every fucking day. I never skip my cold shower. That's why it's my number 1. Full regular hot shower. Let's call it 90 seconds because the studies are 1 to 2 minutes. Cold water on the face for 30 seconds and then a minute of the rest of your body. End with cold too. So boom, done. Boom. Number 2, I'm also going to use heat and cold, and I'm going to go hot tub ice bath back and forth. As hot as you possibly can, like 106 degree fucking hot tub. Like you want to start cutting onions and potatoes in this motherfucker, like Bugs Bunny, and you're boiling in there, and then jump right into an ice bath. Maybe 2 minutes of each back and forth. Optimally, it's more comfortable to end with warm, but you want to end with the cold optimally. So that's 2 cold modalities. 3 will be massage, because you really got to get into that tissue sometimes. 4, I'll say acupuncture, because it's super passive.
Dr. Chen.
And you can, shout out Dr. Chen, and you can line up all kinds of meridian energies and stuff, and there's all kinds of blockages, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual blockages that acupuncture can help. And then 5, I have so many. I was
about to say.
Yeah, you killed me with the 5. I want to say
Top
sound
30.
healing, just because it's dope. Top 30. And then I get to 29. I'm like, oh, I'm leaving so many out. I want to say sound healing because it's dope, and I do it more often. I do it every single day, actually, with headphones, and sometimes I do it with instruments. So I want to say sound healing, so I'm giving sound healing the as much plug as I possibly can, because it's a big deal.
But
528 hertz. It's a miracle frequency. It will save your life. It will heal you. Get on Spotify. Find some binaural beats. Find some chimes, some drums, some stuff. I got all kinds of stuff. Bowls, but I'm going to say isolation tank.
I knew you were going to go isolation tank.
Yeah. So
it's hard to leave that out of top 5. Yeah.
Basically, you go into this chamber that's too expensive to buy for your house unless you're super rich, which is on my fucking list, and we are going to get that shit because we're going to have millions of subscribers. But basically, you go into this tub of water where the water is the same exact temperature as your skin. The air is the same exact temperature as your skin. The water has 800 to 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts dissolved in there. Therefore, you float on the surface because now it's more salt than water. So the temperature's there, and it's pitch black, right? And silent. So now you have no sight, no smell, no hearing, no touch. And no taste, obviously.
Yeah.
So, pitch black, sensory deprivation. So now all that shit has to calm. There's meditation on steroids is the fucking best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Your senses are enhanced when you come out because they're all taking a fucking break. It's an easiest way to do meditation because there's literally no distractions. Lengthens your, I don't want to say lengthens your spine, but like rearranges your spine and decompresses it.
Yeah, the decompression,
Dude,
not
decompression,
having, yeah.
Huge. So once again, and the reason why I take it is it's mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual recovery, where kind of a massage is just mental and physical kind of,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Where acupuncture can be all
Emotional,
four as well, you see what
yeah.
I'm saying? That's why I tried to throw the sound healing in as a plug.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm going with. I'm going with cold shower after your shower, so every single motherfucking day. Hot tub ice bath a couple times a week if you can. Actual massage once or twice a week if you can. I forgot my number 4 for some reason. Oh, acupuncture,
yeah.
which is, once again, once or twice a week if you can. And then sensory deprivation tank, which could be every day for your meditation.
Could be.
If you were rich enough to own one.
Pull that, yeah.
Or a once or twice a month type of nice reset.
They have places, not too expensive.
You want to do, we got time for you to do a top 5.
I'm going to run through some of my favorite ones. Some of them kind of crossover.
Sure.
You said no particular order. You went in a nice little order, but for the cold showers, so your explanation was way cooler and technique was way cooler than mine. But when I started doing cold showers when I first started was like in high school, because I saw somebody on YouTube for like recovery. You just go hot, cold showers.
Oh yeah, alternating. Okay, that's a great way to do it too.
That's the first one, but to get used to the cold, because that's the hardest part is getting used to it. I just did the progressive overload, and I paired it with breathing. So
you have to breathe.
Yeah, so I'd go like where my normal shower, last thing before I get out would be cold, and so I'd just go. Not 1 second, because seconds relative, time is relative. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm done. Like
time is bullshit.
Hide and seek. Ready to go now? Here I go. Yeah. So 1 full inhale, 1 full exhale, and so the next day,
nice.
2 full inhales.
Nice.
And now I actually got to like 60, which is like a couple minutes. And
that's a big deal. That's awesome.
Breaths.
No, I love that. So that's more of a regressed version of what I said. Hot shower, end with 2 minutes of cold. You could go hot for, I was going to say a minute of each back and forth, but start slower, like you said, 10 seconds of each back and forth. And once again, optimally, you would end with cold, even though it's more comfortable to end with hot. But that's a great way. You go back and forth.
I like the cold too in the morning because it just wakes you up,
dude,
gets you going.
If you're anxious, depressed, or tired, and you take a cold shower, I bet you $1 million that you will feel like $1 million. Because I've already won the first $1 million when I bet you wouldn't feel better after breathwork and meditation.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, you ever been out in the cold with like just like really, really cold, like single digits with like nothing on? You can't think about anything, all the other bullshit besides just breathing, being alive, and
keep this
staying
motherfucker
focused.
alive.
We got it. Where it's just dire times.
But I'm so glad you mentioned the breathing because I didn't mention that, even though you said I did a good job of describing it. If you go full blast cold and jump in, you're gonna go,
which is
and that's the
what we told you not to do.
exactly what we told you not to do. So control your breathing. Get a couple of breaths before you step into the cold.
And the breathing will help you to be able to manage. Focus on the breath will take away from the shock of the water.
You are not your body. You are not going to die because of cold water. That's a survival mechanism. And your body's going into fight and flight, sympathetic nervous system, oh my God, oh my God. We're trying to bring you into parasympathetic nervous system as restoration. Control the breathing, relax through it. Then you make like a breakthrough. And you're like, oh, I'm not even breathing heavy at all. It's not even that cold. It fucking feels good.
Yeah.
And then you look forward to it. So you're alternating hot and cold shower is your number one.
Not my number one, but one of there.
One of.
Other one I want to touch, I'm kind of going out over here, but the isolation tank is definitely in my top 5. I haven't done it as much recently just because of the situations that we're in. But
different than a float tank. There's float tanks everywhere, which is the same exact thing I described, except for you people that Winston said I'm claustrophobic, they leave the lights on or they put music or something like that.
So that's just really a nice relaxing.
Super relaxing, super decompressing, but that's it.
Different with the so what's really cool if you're new to doing the isolation tank, if it can feel uncomfortable first if you don't like that, but what's happening, and you can observe this in other ways of doing without doing a sensory deprivation tank, is just eliminate a single sense. The easy way to do it is closing your eyes during a balance exercise.
Whoa.
Right? Because
good luck with that.
Because you think, well, what is balance? I'm just standing on my one foot. My one foot's balancing. Balance is like really 4 things. I think we've talked about this once before.
Big toe, glutes, core, your equilibrium crystals in your ear,
proprioception,
and then your proprioception based upon your vision. I think it's 80% or something of your balance is vision.
So you could be perfectly standing on one leg. As soon as you close your eyes, what's happening is really my brain is using my sight to orient myself in physical space.
In space.
Right? So my perception is basically really only exists within my 5 senses. I take one of those senses away, my perception of reality changes dramatically, right? People who are born blind or born deaf live very different experiences than all of us, even though they're human beings, just because it shapes your reality. So taking away everything that shapes your reality now allows for your one, which is, it's good to practice meditation before you're going to go into isolation tank. It's going to enhance the experience, not like progress, but allow you to expand and relax and enjoy the experience a little bit more. But without any of your senses, all you have is just what's going on up here. And if you can't control that, well, what's going to happen is your body's going to flounder a little bit. It's going to be like, you might visualize some stuff, hallucinate.
That's a gift. Listen up. Where you're fucking up is where you need to go. That's what you need to work on. If you can't, then you must.
But like a lot of people say hallucinating, what's happening is your body's trying to recreate reality because it just lost all of its bearings on the known world, right? So now it's going to put an image in my head, Put something on the screen. So he knows
Why do you
where
think
we're
they
at.
call your pineal gland your third eye? Because when you close these eyes, you can still see things.
What? So yeah, it's a really great spiritual
Everything.
tool, but
also physical,
but
mental,
everything
emotional.
else.
Everything.
Because everything.
If you were born deaf, what language are your inner thoughts in?
That's a good question.
That makes no fucking sense.
They're in sign language. Duh.
Oh shit! Then maybe your third eyes is just doing the sign.
Wow, that's interesting. Because
no, that's exactly what it is. Because it's symbolism.
And I'm in my head and I'm having the same conversation.
Same conversation, but it's just signs.
Yeah.
Yo, that's definitely. I gave you a trick question and you gave a fucking perfect answer.
No, that just kind of happened.
Sensory deprivation and alternating hot-cold shower therapy.
Bada boom, bada bing.
What else?
I'm stiff as a board naturally, muscle-wise. So massage, deep tissue. A lot of people don't like deep tissue because it's too sensitive. I don't care because I know the benefits of it outweigh the fact that...
Bro, hit me with a fucking twisted T in the head, elbow drops. I got the lady holding on to the stripper poles in the ceilings.
She's on the top rope.
Dude,
flying elbow.
Takes off the elbow pad, tosses into the crowd.
Frog splash.
Dude, frog splash. She jumps over the table, jumps back over, does the people's elbow. Boom.
Stone Cold Center me
Dude,
into the hole on the table. the hole on the table.
Dude, are you kidding me?
But yeah, I feel so. If you've ever gotten a massage, like 69 minutes, and you wake up and you have like those like
Go for the 90 minutes.
Go for 90. Yeah, euphoric eyes. Where you don't. Yeah, that's your body
tripping.
And
that's moving lymph. It's
immune system, muscle system. Everything's connected. So that stimulation of the body, release rather of the body, is going to release a lot of other things.
And you're going to feel a lot better. What else you got?
Acupuncture's good. I'm going to throw a shout out. I wouldn't put it in my top 5, not because it's not worthy of top 5, just I haven't done enough to make it into my top 5, I'd say. It's also the ice bath. Ice bath is a big deal. I started doing that when I think everybody does. Is a rite of passage when you're in football.
Big nuts. Yeah, it takes a big nutsack or a big bag of ovaries.
Yeah, just like
sure.
The classic way, just the trash can sitting in there.
And you're like, how is that? I get how it could help my mood, so it's emotional. I get how it's going to help my muscles and stuff, so I know it's physical. But how is that emotional and spiritual? You ever about to go in the cold and you start bargaining? Now there's 2 motherfuckers in your head arguing. Whoa. You, who are you, the observer, is about to do something that benefits your body and mind and everything. But then there's 2 conversations. All right, we'll just do a minute. We're not going to do it. This is uncomfortable. Don't do it. Why just do it? Just do it for 10 seconds. Don't even do it. It's going to fucking suck.
I'm going home, put the ice bucket over, run away.
Or you say, shut the fuck up to the fear wolf, and you feed the winner inside you.
What would be the opposite of fear wolf? The love platypus.
Yes, feed the love platypus, kick the fear wolf in the teeth, and jump in there. And then once again, controlling the breathing in there.
Yeah. I first felt, I had always heard of like icing something is good.
Oh, jeez.
Like until you actually do it a proper way. So like you said, a certain amount of time off. Like so when I first felt the benefits of ice, not necessarily ice bath, was I think like I jacked my ankle up playing football. My body's just not meant to do that sport.
No.
But
a lot of bodies are not made.
And I was like, it was one of those things. Where I'm just like I can't do anything fun. It was not like it wasn't like a serious injury, but it was like that much of an injury that it's hard to tell. So that's when I first started. Like, you know what, I'm just going to spend the next. I took a long time. I wouldn't recommend everybody doesn't have this much time. I was like in high school, so like while I'm doing work or homework, like icing it on, icing it off, icing it on for I forget how many minutes, might have been even 15 minutes, and the next day it was gone. It was literally gone.
Beautiful.
Entirely gone.
And quick rule of thumb, because people are always like, oh, do I do heat? Do I do ice? They used to say ice, now they say heat. I don't know when to do what. If something's tight, you want heat to relax it. If something's loose, like a loose ligament or a joint out of place, cold. So a sprain is cold, a muscle tense is heat.
And with all, because both of us talked about heat and cold a lot, again, that's another stimulation. Your body, it's a stimulating a response within the body to release certain things, anti-inflammatory proteins that can help. Again, take away some of that, not just lactic acid, but also some of the waste products in the muscles.
Big time. That'll move the lymph. If you don't have a 5th, I would like to throw another honorable mention, because you know I like to put 10 things in the top 5 every time.
Of course.
Dude, cupping's the most underrated thing.
Yeah, cupping is sneaky.
At a professional place, it's amazing, but it's literally $10-15 for a kit on Amazon, and it comes, dude. 10 to 20 minutes, you leave a cup on a muscle. It looks like a bruise. It's not a bruise.
If you don't know what cupping is, you've ever seen like pro athletes or just random people, you've seen big red
It got
or
popular
dark circles.
When Michael Phelps had cups on him in 2016, I believe, the last Olympics.
Even though for a while, it's an old technique.
Thousands of years they've been doing this in China. But it's not a bruise. What it's doing is bringing that junk fluid in the lymph and all the waste products, like you said, in the muscle to the subcutaneous level, which is right below the skin, and then it gets flushed out through the lymphatic system, respiration, perspiration, urination, defecation, when you sweat, move, and drink enough water. So that is literally eliminating waste products from your muscle bellies. And it feels amazing. Instant relief as well, like I said, so that's a big one. You want to recap it up, or you got any more recovery?
There's a lot of recovery we go to, but...
So we're going to do a full episode on meditation. We're going to do an episode on breath work. I love how you thought you were coming here for how to lift weights and stuff, and we talked about that for 5 minutes, and we spent an hour on recovery, and we're going to do more on recovery, because recovery is kind of a big deal. You think more is more, but it's not.
Muscles aren't built in the gym.
Not ever. So we're going to do a meditation episode. We're going to do a breathwork episode, because that's probably one of the most underrated things there is. Recovery is what it is. Maybe we'll get to another episode where we go deeper on each one. But here's your homework. Should we give them 2 homeworks? I was going to say download an app and start a daily meditation practice.
Yeah, there's tons.
Which is your challenge. I fucking dare you to do that. and set yourself a challenge, but your actual homework is be aware of your breath and start breathing through your nose.
That's an easy one. Just make that your intention for the start of your day.
Homework, breathing through the nose, and your challenge, if you're a fucking super G, black belt, ninja Jedi, is start a meditation practice, even if it starts with 2 minutes. And the most you ever have to go up is 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's not about.
But I like it, so I do it.
Yeah, it's not about quantity. Like it's not like lifting. It's like more is better. And even in lifting, that's not necessarily true either, which is funny. But but breathing, the meditation, it's just about getting in the habit of it. So if it takes like the first 3 times, you're still thinking. That's not the point. The point is not to not think. The point is just to
breathe. Just be
show
still
up,
for a little bit. You're always
doing.
You're either sleeping or doing something all the time. This is not doing nothing for a minute or two. It's beautiful. It resets everything.
And it helps you stay in the moment too as well.
Bro, that's the only way you can be in the present.
Finish with some Lao Tzu?
Well, real quick though. Yeah, well, I was about to. Wait, did you just ninja me? I was gonna say, if you're in the present.
That was exactly your
motherfucker.
Depression.
If you're in the past, you're depressed. If you're in the future, in your mind, you're anxious. If you're in the present, you're always good because the present moment is always perfect. Yeah. And I paraphrased and butchered Lao Tzu.
You flipped them.
I flipped them. But dude, that's exactly where I was going. You're a wizard, Harry. That's fucking beautiful. And then I was going to say, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is a habit, not an act. Okay? So
that's a little Plato action, right?
That's a big deal. He kind of knew some stuff. Those are 2 guys that kind of knew some stuff. If you've heard of Jesus, but you've never heard of Lao Tzu, you need to get on the Google machine. Wait a second.
Product plug.
Oh man, do you have? Can you flip to the middle where it shows all 4 of them?
There's a couple spots.
Is there a good one that you can just bang out? A small one?
Of course there is. I'm just going to flip randomly.
Randomly feel it?
Oh, here we go.
Because you've heard of Krishna, maybe. You've heard of Buddha, definitely. Jesus, for sure.
Here we go.
You've never heard of Lao Tzu, but guess what? It's the same fucking character over and over again, telling you to love yourself, love your neighbor.
This is a good one. Some Jesus. So we'll go. Who want to go first?
Doesn't matter.
All right.
Go in order.
Jesus. We'll start with Jesus because that's like everybody's. It's a known entity here.
They love to hate
him. They love to hate him. Just like Tio and Jesus. In order to know everything, you must first know yourself. If you do not know yourself, then you know nothing. Those who know themselves also know the all. In the Gospel of Thomas. Krishna, if you would become perfect, discover the self within. Seek this awareness, not intelligence. That's the Bhagavad Gita. Buddha, the big old Buddha. In the realms of suchness, there is neither self nor other. The only way to see what is real is to consider all things as being, not two. Lao Tzu, Mahomeji, in the Tao Te Ching, wisdom comes from knowing oneself. He who knows himself is enlightened. Sounds very, very, very similar.
Know yourself, take care of yourself, realize that we are more the same than we are different.
Even these guys?
Everybody. The same. Love yourself. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Restore.